Hey everyone, it's D here, back with another SimCity video. This is the second installment of my tour of LaMancha that I've built out across this region. Had a bit of a misfortune with this region recently with the Windows system backup that I made the mistake of running while the game was running. So while the system was trying to save its files to Microsoft OneDrive, it had a conflict with the fact that the game was running it, and somehow this resulted in the city being reverted to its native or original file, which is just a blank tile. So 3 or 4 weeks of progress on several cities got wiped out, and the best I could do was restore this region by using a flash drive backup that I had for some of the cities, but unfortunately that couldn't even recover one of the cities. If anybody's dealt with this issue and knows how to solve the problem, I'd love to figure out how to restore the old city, but unfortunately I haven't been able to figure it out, so drop me a message or a comment if you know. Anyway, let's dive into the second part of the LaMancha tour, which shows the other half of the downtown that I had built. This is a similar sized city to the first one. This one comes in slightly higher at 158,000 people. So I'll zoom out here to show the downtown. This city continues as the eastern portion of the downtown, and for this city it's positioned against the backdrop of this large old volcano which I covered entirely with trees. So something that I like to do with my downtowns, and this is kind of a continuation of the previous one, is obviously I'll put all the high density commercial and residential zoning in the area that I want the downtown to be in, so that way you can get all the skyscrapers growing and you can get that nice realistic central business district. Some of the frustration I had with building this downtown was a lot of building repetition. As you can see, there's a bunch of Brink real estates here that sprouted up, and there's another building here called the Cobb Fifth Avenue that the game also really liked for some reason, and it made like 9 of them in one section of the city. There's a few other buildings that have that problem in the game, and you have to be careful with the downloaded content you get from Simtropolis because the way that it's coded is for desirability to be zoned. Some of them have the threshold lowered down, so it makes it that it gets picked way more often. But on that note, it kind of worked out in a cool way for some of this content, which this is like Parisian style housing that I downloaded. It's a residential pack from Centropolis, and it basically made this French Quarter in the city, and I put like a long narrow park in front of it. So it's kind of an interesting section of this downtown. One of the interesting things about the way that these French style buildings populated is they only populate on the 1 by 1 tile for medium residential zoning, which is interesting because the game has its own 1 by 1 medium residential buildings available, but for some reason it heavily favors the downloaded pack in order to sprout these. And then typically what the game provides you, it only populates in the 1 by 2 sized medium residential lots. Let's zoom out to a different part of the city and show what's going on in one of the suburban areas. One interesting style you can see in the game is low density residential placed within city blocks that have a width of 2. So you have a narrow strip of 1 tile width of low density residential facing one street and 1 tile width facing the other street. So it creates this dense back-to-back sort of housing with just the suburban houses. Obviously, since it's low residential, it won't grow any of the denser apartment buildings. So this ends up looking kind of dense against the regular density of the city, and it's something you can use to change up the way that your city looks. So that's a quick tour of the second part of LaMancha. I'll close it out here with a slow pan of the rest of the city. But in the next video, I will show how to create sort of different styles for suburban lots and how to mix them in with different densities. So hope you guys enjoyed it.